Now about cutaneous respiration means the respiration that occurs through skin. So skin is the respiratory organ for some of organisms. I said briefly in last part about some of the organisms which respire through skin, like leech, earthworm, salamander, and frog. So some of the examples of that organisms which respire through skin is called cutaneous respiration. So previously we said that one, we are also having a skin, but we can't able to respire. Why? What is the reason? Why these animals only respiring? Why we can't able to respire? So what is the difference? Means if animal want to respire through skin, they require some conditions. So there are majorly two conditions are required to respire through skin. So the skin respiration require two conditions. What are the two conditions? Means one, their skin should be moist. So they require moist skin. Two, they are richly supplied with blood vessels, blood capillaries. Skin is richly supplied with blood capillaries. These are the two conditions if animal want to respire with skin. Then you may say that, sir, we can pour water on the skin, then our skin will be moist, no? Yeah. And we have so many blood vessels beneath the skin. That is also helpful for respiration. But here it is not according to that. Why? Why it is not? Means because our skin is not always moist, it will dry up. So that's the reason we don't have that respiration. And these animals, how they can keep moist? Because some of the animals like a frog, it is also living outside. If earthworm means they can live inside the soil. So that's the reason earthworm always present in the deeper layers of soil, because they contain moist, and that moist is helping for that organism to survive for a long time period. Then example, if you take as a frog, how frog will respire through skin? Because how it is helpful to keep their skin moist condition for always? Means there are saying that to keep their skin moist condition, some of the conditions are important. Among that, one is they contain mucus glands. It is important to them. Mucus is a jelly-like substance. So these mucus glands, they will secrete mucus, mucin or mucin. So what is the purpose of this? So that only this is the reason why if you take frogs into your hand, you touch a frog, then it is slippery to touch. What is the reason? Means because of presence of mucus. And not only that, if you observe that some of the people getting cold and you touch that, it is also jelly-like. That is due to the presence of mucus. So that only it won't dry up immediately. It will take a long time to dry up. Why? Means the mucus is a substance which is helpful to absorb water. It absorbs water and retain for a long time. That means it is not helping to dry the substance early. For example, if you take as a sponge, house sponge, same like that. Sponge also, if you keep in water and take it out, it won't dry immediately, because sponge will absorb water and retain for a long time. The same like that mucus also. That's the reason these animals, like these earthworms, frogs, these animals, they release mucus. So that only these animals, if you touch with your hand, they are slippery to touch, because that is the reason. And that is helping for them animals to keep their skin moist always. Okay? Okay. The second reason, whenever the conditions are too hot or dry up, they burrows into the soil. So that is the second reason. They are burrow in soil. These are two types are there. One is called estivation, and another one hibernation. Estivation means during summer season they will go into the soil because of hot conditions. Winter season these animals are doing, and that is called as an hibernation. So, this is the way how skin is helping for their animals to respire. That means that they can take oxygen through skin. And skin is richly supplied with blood vessels. We are also have red blood vessels. Blood vessels, so many are there on our, you can see that, that means if you tightly catch that, you can see blood vessels upon the skin. Then why we can't able to respire? Because our skin thickness is more. Their thickness is less. So, they are richly supplied beneath the skin only they are present. So, this is the way how it is respiring. And if you take it, how they are absorbing oxygen? It means if you had seen skin, suppose it is a layer of skin, and this layer of skin is supplied with a large number of blood capillaries like this. Suppose it is a blood vessel and it is divided into so many blood capillaries. Like this, it is present. So, and it is a skin and it will contain moist, and now the blood, and these animals, the blood is red in color due to the presence of hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin is having it is a respiratory pigment also, another name for that, because it is helpful to transport oxygen from one place to another place. So, the water contains oxygen, because moisture, no, the water automatically, oxygen dissolves automatically into the water. Now, the blood when it is coming near, so here thickness is very less. So, due to diffusion, the oxygen dissolves into the blood and carbon dioxide escapes outside. So, this is the reason, like this mechanism is not in our body, because our skin thickness is more. So, that only it is not that. So, like this diffusion. So, hemoglobin is a respiratory pigment, so that it absorbs oxygen and transports it to different parts of the body. So, this is the way how that. So, here you want to remember concept. What does that means? Richly thin skin should be moist, richly supplied with this. If these 2 points, if you remember, you can write whatever the given answer. Space. Sometimes they may ask about write about the cutaneous respiration earthworm, cutaneous respiration in salamander, cutaneous respiration in frog. Whatever the question they ask, but this is only concept. It means the skin should be moist and richly supplied with blood vessels. First point, skin is a respiratory organ called cutaneous respiration. And the skin should be moist and richly supplied with blood vessels to respire. Next, the skin contain, that means the blood contain hemoglobin, is a respiratory pigment. During, that means the oxygen present in the water or moist, that dissolves into the oxygen, and blood dissolves into the blood, and blood contain carbon dioxide dissolves into the water. Carbon dioxide going water and oxygen coming into the blood. So, this is the way how exchange of gases takes place, and oxygen will transport to the different tissues in the body. This is that process. But only in frogs. Why frog have, that means special 2 types of respiratory organs like skin and lungs. That means the mainly special is, because I said already, 1/3 of respiration occurs through skin in frog, even though they have lungs. So, what is the reason? Means here these animals, in all animals, the blood either deoxygenated or oxygenated blood only is supplied to the different parts of the body and circulating. But in a frog is not like that. The frog, the blood is supplying oxygenated, deoxygenated, both blood mixed and supplying to the body parts. So, this is the reason why they have 2 different types of respiratory organs in the animal when compared to that of the other organisms. Okay. And the next topic.
ప్రజల టీవీ.